Hello everyone. About 3 weeks ago, I made this community post that you're seeing on screen right now. I said that I would like to make a tier list video once I had the time to do it, and asked you what you would like to see a tier list video on. Geometry Dash official levels ended up winning the poll, and most of the suggestions I saw in the replies were asking for a tier list on demons. The problem is, I don't really play that many demon levels, nor do I stay updated on upcoming ones, so if I did make a demon tier list, it probably wouldn't be any good, so I'm doing one on official levels. Also, I think it would be boring if I went over the levels in chronological order, so I'm going to mix their orders up. First up is Dryout. I like this level a lot. It has a pretty epic song, it introduces the gravity portal in a cool way, and I feel like its gameplay is pretty distinct from the 3 levels before it. A tier. It's time for Can't Let Go. The first thing I have to say about this level is that it's way too difficult. When I first tried to beat it, it took me forever. However, the level after it was a complete breeze in comparison. Also, I'm sorry for saying this, but I really don't like its song and personally find it repetitive and annoying. The gameplay is boring, forgettable, and as mentioned before, way more difficult than it should be. Lastly, it has a typo in its name. Solid F tier. Now that we've talked about my least favorite level, let's talk about my favorite one, Geometrical Dominator. Everything about this level is amazing. It was the first level to use the triggers that were introduced in Update 2.0, and I think RobTop did an amazing job of showing the triggers off. It started with a few moving objects, but later in the level we have objects appearing in front of the player, as well as a segment where you need to collect objects to do certain tasks, like open doors or summon a platform to save you. Its decoration is also awesome, and really takes advantage of the new blocks introduced in the update. To top it all off, Waterflame did a really nice job on the song. Solid S tier. Time Machine is a good level with a pretty nice song. I would give it A tier, but it was the first level to use reverse portals, which I can never forgive it for. B tier. I think lots of you will agree with me when I say that Finger Dash was a pretty underwhelming level. The first half of it was actually pretty good, but things begin to fall apart after that. First, the decoration becomes bland and repetitive. It's quite obvious that it was rushed, and considering that the update took almost 1.5 years, this level definitely did not live up to the expectations I had for it. I will give it D tier though, because the beginning was actually kind of good. I don't really have much to say about Jumper. It has somewhat unique gameplay and uses a song that I like. It's not good enough to get A tier, but definitely gets B. Now let's talk about Electrodynamics. Although I don't like its song or decoration that much, this level has really creative gameplay. It was the first level to use speed arrows, and I think it definitely utilized them. However, this level is so annoyingly difficult. It's rated 12 stars, meaning that it should be similar difficulty to Theory of Everything. However, it took me a lot more attempts to complete Electrodynamics because of the fast-paced segment towards the end of the level. I think this level would make much more sense if it was either 13 or 14 stars, but hey, that's just my opinion. C tier. Similar to Dryout, Base After Base has an epic sounding song. As much as I would like to give it an A, its gameplay feels a bit lazy during many parts, so I'll give it a B. Hexagon Force was the first level to use dual portals. Not only did it do a great job at introducing them, but its use of dual portals is better than that of any other official level. While other official levels only contain symmetrical dual segments, Hexagon Force contains both symmetrical and asymmetrical dual segments. It also has cool decoration and a nice sounding song. A tier. Polargeist not only has a good song, but it also has good music sync. I also like this ship part a lot. B tier. Now it's time to review Clubstep. I don't know if it's just me, but this portion of the song hurts my ears. Like, I feel like there's something in my ear every time I hear it. I remember that while I was beating it, I had to disable my sounds just to keep my ears from dying. Aside from that, although its gameplay contains some good segments, it's overall annoying and buggy while its decoration is ugly and chaotic. D tier. Back on Track functions well as a second level. It's not too difficult, but it still took me time to complete it when I first began playing Geometry Dash. However, I wouldn't really say it's anything special, and I'm not too fond of the song. C tier. In my opinion, Theory of Everything is not that great of a level. The song sounds repetitive, its decoration looks horrid, maybe even worse than Clubstep's, it's extremely forgettable, and it overall feels lazy. E tier. On the contrary, Theory of Everything 2 is amazing. It has colorful decoration and gameplay that is not only fun and creative, but also syncs to the song very well. In contrast to the original Theory of Everything, I like Theory of Everything 2's song a lot. S tier. Well, back to the levels I don't like. I've heard lots of people say they like X-Step, but I've never been that fond of it. First of all, its song gets kind of repetitive towards the end. I know that me calling songs repetitive is getting quite repetitive at this point, but that's because it's a pattern that I see in a lot of songs. In addition to that, it has annoying gameplay, and this shit part where you literally just fly straight through a bunch of blue jump pads feels especially lazy. In the end, it's another forgettable level that doesn't have much substance to it. F tier. I don't really have much to say about Blast Processing. Although it has a good song and nice looking decoration, its gameplay is slow and boring. C tier. Cycles is kind of in the same boat. Although it has a good song, it lacks fun or interesting gameplay, and some parts of it look weird. D tier. The rating I give Clutterfunk will probably surprise a lot of people. I haven't heard anybody say they like this level, and I've heard lots of negative things about it. However, I actually really like this level. I wish I could explain why I like it so much, but to be honest, I have no clue why. If I had to guess, I'd say it's something to do with the fact that its gameplay constantly changes along with the song, which makes it interesting to play. Anyways, Clutterfunk gets A tier. Time for Deadlocked. Similar to Geometrical Dominator, it takes advantage of the new 2.0 features as well. It's probably one of the most fun levels gameplay-wise, my favorite parts being the ship segment where you have to memorize a moving maze, as well as this cool laser-style boss fight. At least, it was cool before this type of boss fight was completely overdone. Its decoration also looks very nice. There are a few different decoration themes presented throughout the level, and each one looks great. Lastly, RobTop chose a really fitting song for this level, and he also did a good job with music sync. S tier. Next up, Electroman Adventures. The gameplay is decent, the decoration is great, but the one part of it that annoys me is its awful use of reverse portals. When you put obstacles too close to a reverse portal, you can't see them in time because of the flip animation. I shouldn't already be right in front of this wall by the time the flip is over.
This is why I hate reverse portals.
Despite its awful use of reverse portals, it still gets B tier. I decided I'd save the first level for last. Although I think Stereomatis' gameplay is mostly fine, its song isn't my favorite, similar to Back on Track. It's not like the song is bad, it's just kind of boring in my opinion. Also, the third coin is way too difficult to get. In fact, I'm pretty sure the level is nerfed to make it easier, and it even still can be challenging. In conclusion, it's not my favorite level, but I would say that it does a pretty good job at introducing the player to the game. C tier. Anyways, that concludes my official level tier list. I'm probably going to get wrecked for making this video because I ranted about levels that people probably like, but oh well, I might as well just cut to the end screen.